It seems crazy to say, but at this late date, Republicans are still in the process of coming to understand that when you strip away people's rights while demonizing them 24/7, some of them won't want to vote for you to get more political power. Popular Twitter Russian bot account End Wokeness was apparently shocked by this. You can take a look at this. It's polling showing women and men of different groups and whether they support Donald Trump. And women don't like Trump at all. They're like 40 points more for Kamala Harris. And so End Wokeness, I don't know what the original tweet was gonna be, but they translated it from Russian to English, and it says, WTF is going on with Gen Z women. Well, what do you think? If you had to guess, rhetorical questions are great, but sometimes the original recipe is better. You could ask the question and try to answer it. Why would young women not want to vote for Donald Trump? I'm not sure. Maybe it's that they were born into a world where they expected that their body would kind of in some way be their own. And then they figured out as they got to voting age, oh no, not so much. And maybe some of them took that personally, like Michael Jordan. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
So anyway, Sharon, give me your thoughts, because if we put up that chart again, you can see that women of all age groups are more for Harris, but especially Gen Z. And then interestingly, the second greatest group is the 65 pluses. So anyway, what do you think about all this?
And that's why my mom suddenly has a Seniors for Harris sign in her window. I think this is just not even difficult. You don't need to have a degree in political science to understand that when you do things that are attacking, traumatic, hurtful, angry towards women, women are going to not like you, okay? There's a few outliers, you mentioned them, MTG, Boebert in our movie theater. He's not good to us. And so all the way up to 65, where I don't know many women who are accessing reproductive health rights, but you still have a womb, you're still a woman, and we don't like what you're doing, dude. You're a bad guy. You're bad. No likey you. I mean,
that's a sign for you.
Right. No likey you.
And look, as you point out, it's both the policy side and then also the rhetoric side. It's like Donald Trump killed Roe v. Wade. JD Vance despises every woman he's ever seen in his life. That's not a good combination. You can't constantly disrespect women as an applause line and then just think, well, they're not going to hear this, are they? It's not how it works, man.
And
but
don't
anyway,
forget the men who love us. Don't forget the men who have daughters, okay?
Yeah.
I understand that wasn't part of the data there, but it's just not sound.
I think they should, when they do these polls, they should break out the girl dads. I think that should be a thing. Yep. But anyway, and by the way, so Ghoul Girl in the Twitch chat has a theory as to why they're turning against Donald Trump. Says, it's simple, John. Trump is neither cutesy nor demure, so the Gen Z girlies don't want him. He's barely mindful, honestly. Yeah. So anyway, it's a good theory. We're gonna work on it. Maybe the Gen Z girls hadn't yet seen his high socks. Maybe that will sway some of them. Watch yesterday's show. So really fast, just a reminder that even Republican women voters don't like the right-wing position, a lot of them, on these abortion issues. And so like especially the young ones, these are young Republicans, hate your guts when it comes to policy. So you're losing when you lose that. Now, very interestingly, what about the consequences of this? Does it matter? Well, losing a demographic is a bad thing. Losing that demographic when it's growing as a share of the voting population is worse. And when you look at the increase in voter registration, this is from 2020 to like July 2020 to July this year. So you see, when we break it down, young women in general are up like 84%. But then once you break it down to like young Latinas, it's 150%. Young Black women, it's 176%. I don't even know how these numbers are possible, and yet I love them and I want them to continue. So yeah, it's probably gonna hurt him. And by the way, Sunrise Movement, which we previously had featured on the show quite a bit, is mobilizing to reach 1.5 million young voters in swing states. And those young voters that they mobilize are more likely than not going to be big fans of Donald Trump. And so they effed around on this topic, and they are perhaps electorally about to find out. Any final thoughts?
No, but that's a T-shirt and a yard sign too. It might be a little long. We may have to break it up, but that's really all I got.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand scroll a no likey you. I'm just gonna be outside of the White House if Donald Trump gets back in. Maybe a
One guy
hat.
there. Yeah.
Make America no likey you again.
No likey you.
When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?